it back. It's a, he said it's a, them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah. Money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. They go play action here on first down. On the move to his left. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From midfield, here's Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Wentz. And now another one thrown incomplete. It was Kenny Vaccaro there to get a hand on that one.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be just an 18-yard punt, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second down, Winston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Brown. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Let's go. Ram. 46 down, man, 5-4.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Wentz throwing on second down. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and the Buccaneers are going to have a first down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Jameis to throw it. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, Winston. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 3rd down, Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a 1st down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
They'll begin the drive with a Ajayi. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. 82, 82.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Noah Spence in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. 82, 82.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. He sets to fire deep. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Fletcher Cox breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would admit that there was an income.
Here's Brian Anger now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
There we go, back. 280! 6 guys! Check 357.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Winston company with some work to do after the sack.
82!
Now Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. So out come the Bucs now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now Jameis on 2nd down. pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Brandon Graham coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. Buying time to his left. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. First down, Winston. He gets it to Humphries. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Winston. Dancing to his left. And Winston lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered. A bad third down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field. Now that you've turned it over and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down. Now they lose it. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Come on.
Wentz now on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Owens. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Now they set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Following the interception, Winston steps away. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's go now.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. He got 29 yards that time. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hey, let's go, let's go.
2nd down, Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Winston now to throw on 1st down. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Yeah, he's got it. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. From the gun, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. There he goes, right side. He's at the 40, the 20, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Now, remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the half here, Winston. He's going to air one out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Marcus May with a pick. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to. And if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Now Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. It was Kenny Vaccaro there to get a hand on that one.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Eagles on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Freeman. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. 3rd and short yardage. Winston. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Brandon Graham in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
He's good, and that's caught inside the 30. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. Wentz able to hook up with Aguilar for a big gain and even 50 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Winston again. He goes underneath to Freeman. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stopped short of the 30. A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Let's keep bringing it. Stay in there.
Jameis to throw it. And now here's another interception. Rasul Douglas picks it, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Now a play fake. Wentz. And that is incomplete. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
This is Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So there you go, partner. How about that?
Oh, that was pretty cool.
That will tie the all-time record set by Matt Prater of the Broncos back in 2013.
And you know, when Prater hit from 64, that was like breaking DiMaggio's streak or breaking the 4-minute mile of Bannister. Tom Dempsey, 63, that was a legendary number. So to top that here, even if it just ties the record, pretty darn awesome.
Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Winston. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10.
Lion.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 12 yards is the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On play action, it's Wentz. This will be caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. Jameis now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. It's caught. Humphreys. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Freeman. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 47. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. The Eagles on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And an alley to run. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Winston now. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 39. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now. And get himself calm.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Hey!
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They run with Ajayi, and they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On third down, that's Freeman. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up fourth down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is going to be incomplete. The Bucs try it on fourth down, but come up empty. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they take a knee. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
4 down. Check.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet.
What's up, gang? Let me go secure for the game right quick. Hey, what's up, gang? I got it. I think it's my fault. For real. What's up, the rest. Hey, I got that chicken to go. I'm gone. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No car. I want that caught. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. Good drip. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from filling out kites to putting it in my block. Blue Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie got the big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that chicken to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault.